The Great Resignation. Welcome, everyone, to Break Room Conversations. I am going to invite Alberto Swanson to the room. Give me 1 second, and then we're going to introduce our guest today. And welcome to Break Room. Thanks for joining. Stay tuned. We're getting Alberto in the room right now. There he is.
Hey.
We did it. All right. Welcome to Break Room Conversations, everyone. Before we get our special guest in the room today, we are here to talk about the Great Resignation, burnout, all that stuff that we're hearing. And we have such a great light. I don't even know how to describe Tracey. She is just fantastic. Tracey from Salon. Let's go and find her. All right. All right, Tracey, here we come. Thanks for joining, everyone. Tracey, you made it.
I did.
Oh, this is so fun.
Berto.
It's always so good to see your beautiful face. I love it.
You,
And I feel like I've been seeing so much of it lately.
Trying to get Insta famous over here.
I mean,
love it.
girl, it is working. Thank you so much for joining us. And, I was just drawn. I'm just drawn to you. Your energy is just amazing. And I love all the talks that you have on your Instagram page. And I was like, we have to have her on. I think you just need to be a permanent part of Break Room Conversation. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I'll get the agent's number.
Okay, we'll work on that. So what really interested me was one of your conversations about really finding your niche and really loving what you do. And I don't know what you guys, all we hear right now are everyone's burnt out and people are resigning. And unfortunately, in our industry, that's nothing new for us. It's sad to say. And I love how you are really working on, making that part go away to where people really do find what they love. And what I would love to hear from you, and Alberto, feel free to chime in. What advice do you have to stylists that are new, they're just entering in to the industry?
I see it happening more and more often and earlier than it's ever happened before. And, I've asked myself this question as an owner of a salon, and I have lots of young stylists working for me. And, I think it's probably a combination of being overstimulated and understimulated. There is always education going on at your fingertips now, which is so much different than what I experienced as a young stylist. And I think sometimes that even though we have a lot of accessible education, we're not always learning. We might be taking in information, but maybe it's not something that we, is applicable for us. And I also think, if you're experiencing burnout too early in the game, 3 years, seems really early. Maybe you've stopped learning. Maybe you're not taking in any education and you're just getting a little bit bored where you are. Maybe you're working for a leader that's not challenging you and keeping you inspired. I think lots of different things play into that. But it really is up to us as stylists to reignite the fire whenever we start to feel that burnout come on, because this beauty industry is there's no reason to be bored. It's fantastic, changing. It is truly what you make it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Alberto, what are your thoughts, as a stylist yourself, how do you avoid burnout?
Tracey kind of said it, that there's always so much, like this is always evolving, it's changing, and I feel like especially after COVID, like things got completely flipped and turned around. So for the past few years, I've been excited to learn everything that's new in the world of hair, because there's so much going on, as she said. And I just kind of want to learn everything that I possibly can. And look, this is after 22 years of doing hair, you know? So I think it is about just kind of fine tuning and tuning in to what's going on.
Yeah. And Tracey, so let's get to the topic about finding your niche, and how do you why is that so important to you, and how do you see that as a preventative, and I guess helping people stay engaged?
Well, for me, I've been doing hair 22 years as well, Alberta. So we obviously started when we were 5.
Right.
Correct.
But no, in that time, my niche, my specialty has changed. I've evolved into lots of different people behind the chair. In the beginning, for me, it was high-end color. I wanted to be known for blondes. I wanted to be known as the stylist in town that always was serving up the latest and greatest looks. And I saw that to be where the money was at the time too. I was a single mom, and although I love what I do, it's it was a career that I chose to financially support my family. And then I moved into extensions, and honestly, I'm still in love with extensions. It's a huge market where I live, especially for women in my age group. We're experiencing hair loss and hair thinning for lots of different reasons. So although I love the makeovers, the grand finale makeovers, I also really love the opportunity to help give women back what they feel like they might be losing for whatever reason. And now I feel like my niche looks a little bit more like educator, mentor, coach, and so as you can see, it's evolving always into something else. But the process of finding your niche is really the process of elimination. Like, you have to look at your book and you have to say, what sets my soul on fire, and what am I looking at that I'm really dreading? And you really have to figure out how to create a pathway toward that passion, because not only will it show up in your work because you're absolutely loving what you do. Every day is Christmas, and you're experiencing a lot of success because you're creating that branding for yourself. But it's also the joy. It's also the joy that fuels you through the times that maybe aren't as pleasurable, the times where maybe you're experiencing something personal or, whatever. I mean, burnout can happen for a lot of different reasons, but finding your niche and love the drive to work every day because you can play some looks and put some smiles on people's faces, like, that's magical. There's no reason to fall out of love with that. But it does take finding it. It does take finding it, or you're going to be doing kids cuts forever.
I had a tear in my eye up until that. Thanks for making me laugh right there.
Yeah, Tracey, you're absolutely right when it comes to the process of elimination. When I first started, I never, ever thought I would get into education. And, I took a leadership role in the salon and started to mentor, and it made me feel good seeing what I was, passing off to these future stylists. And here I am now, in full-blown education. So it does take years, and I dabbled in so many different things. I knew I wanted to do color, and then I was like, okay, well, color's fun. And I started doing extensions and then other chemical work like that, Japanese relaxers, but it always drew me back into teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we surround ourselves with like-minded people, So in the break room, if for some reason we're in the break room, sit by the ones that want to go somewhere, And I think it's important that we surround ourselves with positive people, especially this day and age. That's what's really going to help us to stay motivated, to stay lifted. So really seeing like who it is that you're surrounding yourself around, and who it is
that have pure pro. Sit by the ones that have Pure Pro open, that are actually trying to spend their time learning something new. I mean, the Neil Network, Beta, like, it's top-notch education at your fingertips. Anything you want is in there. Instagram is awesome. Obviously, we're on Instagram right now. I've learned a ton of stuff from Instagram and made amazing connections. But again, make sure you're filtering what you're looking at and that you're actually able to purpose what you're spending your time on.
Yeah. Now, and then we may have kind of already answered this a little bit, but, you know, what advice do both of you guys have for those 10-year employees? I'm sure you've had some friends that, you know, have been right along you for years, and then they just, you know, all of a sudden they just decided that this wasn't for them anymore, and they were just so passionate. Like, how do you get them unstuck? Because we know a lot of people that are stuck.
Right. I would say never, ever be afraid of reinventing yourself. Like, it is, you know, you do not have to stay where you are. You do not have to keep doing what you're doing if it doesn't bring you joy anymore. If you're dreading, you know, walking into the salon every day, it's probably time to reinvent yourself. And in my opinion, you don't ever have to leave the salon. I'm a lifer. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be in this industry until it just won't have me anymore, because I see unlimited potential. I see unlimited opportunity to, you know, recreate my job title, whatever that is. And again, it's the process of elimination. It's finding the new niche, that new niche.
That new.
It's really important to not ever feel like it's too late, or that, you know, oh my gosh, I've invested all this time and all this money in extensions or color or whatever. I don't want to have to go through all that again. But it's easier than it's ever been. Just go for it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what I noticed with a lot of those 10-year stylists is they haven't evolved and they haven't changed to the current state of working. You know, let's just say back in the day, because it's back in the day for us, you know, it used to be all about the hustle and how many guests you can do in a day, get them in and out the door. And it's not like that anymore. It's like, take your time, charge appropriately. You're going to see that your wellness and being is going to be there. So that's what they have to do, is kind of get themselves out of that way that they've been working for those 10 plus years.
Yeah.
I totally agree, Alberto. And, you know, it's unfair to make yourself believe that you have to choose between money and passion. You know, the passion will bring the money. I've been very fortunate in my career to earn a good living, and, you know, I can understand how it's stressful for someone if they feel like they're grinding, if they feel like it's a constant hustle just to get the bills paid, just to make sure if you're, you know, that you're bringing in enough to hold your spot at the salon, or if your booth rent, pay all that. Like, that is not an even exchange for what this industry requires of us. It requires so much more than the regular hustle and grind. You have to bring the passion, and you have to bring the want to the chair, or people are going to feel it. They're going to feel it, and they're going to go somewhere else.
Man, I wish you lived closer. We can hang. You are just, saying everything and this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. And
we have these magical platforms that we can just connect constantly.
You know, I mean, because this conversation is so relevant for today. And I think another, you know, my 2 cents on this is, if you're feeling stuck, if you're in leadership, you know, whatever position that might be, even if those are watching that are not in this industry, you know, talk to your mentors. You know, I mean, Alberto is one of my mentors, and, you know, he has to talk me off the ledge all the time. But it's important that you have someone to talk to, and they can help you look at things a little bit differently, you know. So it's important to communicate whenever you're feeling stuck. Communicate. So I think this is great. And, you know, Tracey, thank you, and please, and thank you for doing what you're doing. And please don't stop. And we look forward to watching more and more of you on your Instagram. Alberto, is there any closing remarks?
No, but I'd like her to shout out her Instagram so people can check her out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's Tracey, Tracey, don't forget the E, .Lox Salon. And Lox is LOXX.
Sweet. And you are located where?
We're in Tennessee, honey.
Where is Cookeville, Tennessee?
So I know my fellow Tennessean. Cookeville is right in the middle of Nashville and Knoxville. So it's really great. I'm centrally located between two large and awesome institutes. So
Yeah.
but yeah, my town offers it's big city enough for me, but also super community driven, and I love all the support. I mean, this salon has only been open 9 years, and the success that we've had, we literally could not have without our community and the support from the Neil Network and Aveda. Alberto was the lifeblood of me becoming an Aveda colorist. All the text messages, I'm like, what does this man walk around with his phone like? I love you. Thank you.
I'm convinced he has a few clones out there. He won't admit it, but I'm convinced he does.
Yeah, he's the good stuff. But thank you so much for this opportunity. I mean, I'm down for a repeat whenever you guys are ready.
Yeah. All right. Maybe next time we'll take a road trip to you. Yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
All right. Well, y'all have a great week, and Neil team, we'll see you next week. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.